mentally
how do we want to
prepared.
do this one? How do we want to do this one?
Um, Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Dude You Never Told Me, a podcast about three best friends just having deep and real conversations with each other.
For real though.
I'm your host, Anthony, and with me are my two best friends, Devante.
It's having fun isn't hard
When
when
you got
a library card.
Representing Arthur. And in the other corner, we have Alex.
What up, everybody?
What up, man? Who are you representing? Are you representing a childhood cartoon? Are you Oscar
Man, I
the
got,
Grouch?
Southport, Colorado on my chest here.
Okay, cool.
Colorado.
Not to be
representing
confused
Colorado.
with South Park, but South Fork.
And
With the
I
utensil.
am representing the capital of our great nation, DC. Woo.
Nice.
Where
all the shit happens.
USA indeed. And I kind of want to begin a conversation this episode with conversation I had with my brother this past weekend. So I was talking. It was me, my brother, and my wife were hanging out, and my wife asked me who I was most nervous for her to meet in terms of my family. I don't know, but you guys, my family is very judgmental. And so
What?
and so she was wondering who I was most nervous about, and I told her that for me, my brother, I hold my brother's opinion really high regards. He was a role model for me growing up. My dad passed away when I was only 6 months old, so he helped raise me. So I value his opinion the most. So I told her that it's my brother's opinion that I was most nervous about because it's one thing for him to not like who I'm dating, but it was one thing for him to not like who I'm going to marry. And so, and then the conversation pivot where if I was in the reverse situation where my brother brings home this girl, he's like, I've been dating her, for a couple months. Like, what do I say, and kind of what are my opinions? And I told him that I wouldn't really care who he dates. I do care who he marries. And I feel like, if I saw some red flags at the beginning of the relationship, I wouldn't say anything at first. I'd probably wait a couple of months. I said I'd wait a year, but apparently that's too long to engage in a conversation
A year
about.
is quite a while.
Apparently,
Especially at our age.
I didn't realize. Yeah, I guess that's in context. We're now in entering our 30s. We're ending our 20s,
yeah.
and so a year is a long time. But I was like, oh, maybe like a year, and then I narrowed down, maybe like six to 8 months in. 6 to 8 months in, and they're still dating, and he hasn't picked up on the signs that I saw. I would have to interject and be like, okay, brother, before it gets too serious, we need to have a conversation about your partner. And so I want to bring that topic to my other brothers, my brothers from another mother. When would you feel comfortable telling me that my partner is not right for me, or you have red flags, you have some reservations about my partner, or maybe it's a little too easy when we tell each other. You met Alex's, let's say Alex's parallel universe. You actually did come to Alex's 21st birthday, Devante, and you met his soon to be wife, his soon to be wife, and let's say this parallel universe, this person is hot trash. Because she's a wonderful person, but in this parallel universe
that I almost dated before Chelsea,
the last girl, she's hot trash. When would you say, Alex, we need to talk?
Probably the second time I meet the both of them.
Okay,
I'd say second time, because the first time it's you're just meeting them for the first time, so maybe they don't know how I act, or maybe they want to give off like a facade of, oh, like I'm totally his girlfriend, like try to impress us or something like that. I don't know. It would be my first time meeting her, right?
Okay.
But the second time, oh, we got to cut right through that. We got to cut through that butter, smooth like butter, and be like, hey, so my homeboy here, he's been hurt a couple of times, and he's not ready to get hurt again. So what do you think? You know,
Is
what do
there
you think about that statement, right?
is there a cooling period between? So let's say you met them. Let's say that you met them 1 month in, and then the next time you meet them is literally a week later. Is that when you come in, or are you gonna keep waiting a little
Um,
bit longer?
I feel like a week later, there's not too much development between the two, so
Alright.
maybe a little bit longer, maybe like a couple, like you know, I mean, there's like the lovey-dovey phase, so
Yeah, like the
yeah,
post
I mean,
honeymoon
I'd
phase.
give it
Okay.
like within the 6 months for sure. 6 months, it's like, all right,
Yeah.
y'all been dating for a little bit
Now it's like
in comparison to
serious.
like other relationships. Yeah, it's a little more serious.
I
Like
can
what?
tag in on this. So
Yeah,
I've got a real world example for you, and it actually pertains to our good friend Anthony here. So it's
this
not the
guy.
example you're thinking. So this actually goes to your wife. So when I first got introduced to Michelle, it was actually via like Facebook Messenger. I remember our first interaction was not exactly, we didn't get off on the right foot because it ended with her telling me she hopes that I fail my exam that I had to miss your birthday party for.
Mm.
And I was like, what did I do? I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I would love to go, but damn, like I thought at first she was playing, but then,
I love your
then I
wife.
was like, maybe she wasn't. So I was like,
I
I
love the way
wasn't
she
too sure
talks.
at
Or
first.
wait, wait,
I
wait, wait,
wasn't too
wait.
sure at first.
Right. Now that you know my wife, at the
Oh,
time, not in hindsight, do you think she was serious or do you think she was joking? Now that you know my wife.
I think she was being sarcastic as hell. I
Yes,
think she
very
was just
much
playing
so.
with me. But like
I-
I didn't know her, so it
Yes.
was just like it was like, whoa, okay, like who is Anthony dating here? Like I was like, I didn't say nothing because I was over it was over one interaction and we didn't even meet in person. Like, okay, like we'll see what she's like. But when I met her
Right.
the first time, like I absolutely loved her. Like I thought she was great for you, without a
Mm.
doubt. I was like, yeah, Anthony needs to marry this girl. But yeah, I think that's a
Okay.
good example of getting off the wrong foot at first and being like
All right.
maybe not the best
So
first impression.
well, let's play out this scenario, this parallel universe out.
Sure.
You had that bad first impression. Now you actually, let's say a couple months later, you actually meet Michelle for the first time, and she's the exact same level of like sarcastic, dry, cold, total bitch to you. When would you tell me that, like, hey Anthony, we have a problem?
I probably would lean back on conversations that we had, right? I would try to remember like, okay, Anthony tells me X, Y, and Z about her. And yes, she acts a certain way towards me, but how does she act towards him? Okay. So that determines how the conversation is going to go in terms of like, do I need to worry about you or do I just need to address the conversation with you and be like, hey, like, does she have a problem with me? Like, it's a very different kind of
Fair.
conversation. One's more
Fair.
concerned for you and one's kind of like a, hey, like, I want to hang out with you and be like best friends for life. But if
Yeah.
your future wife doesn't like me, like that could be a problem.
She
Like,
hates
what
me.
do I got?
She
What
hates
did I
me.
do?
So okay, then back to the original question is when you see red flags in our relationship. When would you tell me? When would you interject in? Are you gonna be consistent like you did when we were in recently graduated high school? Or are you gonna be like, oh, I think Anthony's got it. I think Anthony will be okay for a little bit.
So the big difference between those situations is gonna be I knew the other person, I knew it was a bad fit.
Okay.
This
That's valid.
one I would have to give it a couple of times,
Sure,
I
sure, sure, sure.
probably I'd say like if it was based off the timeline of I kind of met her through
That
it.
scenario, I give you three
Interesting.
times, man.
3 times.
Not two.
Yeah, like
three. I'll give you three.
the
'cause
one
I'm
time
like,
over
maybe.
online, the one time in person, and then it's like, okay, but this third time, like, all right, what's going on here?
Yeah. Throw up the red flag and
The
be
red
like, hey,
flag.
yo, Anthony, what's up with this? Why you talking to me like this, man?
Yeah.
Speaking of, I guess like a red flag, a shout out to our previous episode, but is it a red flag if a relationship progressed too quickly? So, and let's take it, we'll take a fake example, but then we'll take a real life example. Let's say we see it in celebrities are a rare case, but we see it where people, they meet one time, they date for 3 months, boom, engaged. Is that too
They get
fast?
married,
Is
right?
that too fast? And then, and shout out to our last episode, but Alex, you said you knew that Chelsea was the one in 3 months. If Devante, Alex comes and tells you, hey, I met this girl, we've been dating for 3 months. I'm asking her to marry her. I'm gonna propose to her this Friday. Would you be like, whoa, 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 whoa? I need you to
I'll
hold
be
on
like,
a bit.
let's hold the brakes there, my guy. and then I'll really sit down and have a conversation to be like, all right,
Mhm.
I not only a conversation with Alex, but it would have to be with the girl that he wants to propose to, right? Like it
Yeah.
has to be a three-way. Like I'd be like, all right, this is my best friend
Hey, yo.
and conversation. I'd be like, this is my best friend, and what do you think about him? Like, do you see a future with him? You know, I would ask. I mean, I would ask the hard questions as I usually
Yeah.
do. Like, I would, and
You definitely
depending
did.
on what, yeah, I definitely did. Depending on what she says, I'd be like, yo, bro, like maybe you need a little more time. Like, maybe she's not ready. You're ready, but she's not ready. You know, or like she has a different perspective, and you're seeing it like this way, or like we would just have to have that communication of, oh, this is how Alex sees it. I see where
Yeah.
you're coming from, but then it's like, is she on the same page? And then is she ready? And then even like, yeah, is she ready to even marry you? Because I don't even want to step into, is she the right one for you? Because that's not for me to make, right? That's for
Right.
y'all to. But is she ready in terms of, oh, we can get married, and this is what I'm expecting in our marriage? Like, are those conversations that y'all have had? Y'all haven't had? If y'all haven't had, okay, maybe you need to take a step back, and give it a couple more months, right?
But if they
Um,
answer all your questions, to your contentment, you'd be like, yeah, this is go for it. Get married in 3 months. Or
right.
would you be like, I still have my reservations?
I would still have my reservations.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Alex, you're in the hot
I,
seat now.
I think it's a good thing to have that conversation with that person, whoever they may be, and sit them down. Just make sure that this is really like what they want, and this isn't just young love or puppy love or that honeymoon stages of love. But for some people, I have seen it work out. Like it,
Right.
it can be pretty impressive.
So
So
you wouldn't
I
talk them
would,
out of it. You wouldn't talk. You
I,
wouldn't talk one of us out of it if we were, marrying someone we knew for 6 months. You wouldn't talk us out of it. You'd be
I
like,
would
I wouldn't
talk
go
to
as
you
far to
about
say
it.
talk you out of it. I would say reconsider.
I would
I wouldn't
talk
say
to you
talk you
about it.
out of it.
Yeah, I would talk to you about it and just really make sure like this is what you want.
and okay,
Like I saw a couple. So I went to Matt Rife's comedy show about a week ago or so, and there's this couple, this a woman and a woman, and they were talking about when they met and how after a week she proposed. After a week, she was like, I
Really
knew
quick.
that I wanted to marry this girl, and I was like, God dang, it took her a week to figure that out. Holy Moses!
I
Like
mean,
that's
And
quick.
for
and
Michelle,
then
she
I would
said it took
ask,
her a couple
yeah, go ahead.
days. So like, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
and
then at the same
they
time,
said
I
they've
would
been
ask
married for
like
2 years now, like so I mean 2 years isn't
what
like super long, but it's a pretty good amount of time. Like it worked so far.
like I think it'd be also important to ask like what does marriage mean to you?
Mm,
Like if they're all
fair.
if all they're talking about is like me, like this is what I get out of it, then
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, that's definitely red flags, right? I'd be
Yeah.
like, well, now you're just wanting marriage because you think you have like stability in your life with this person that you think you love, but in reality, you just want to live your life and just happen to have them close by. Like that's not real marriage. Um, and so I would ask him like, what is your definition of marriage? Like, what do you think it looks like to be married with this person, like with this other person?
That's a
I
good
don't know.
one.
That
Yeah, I
would
mean
just be
that's good.
another question I'd ask.
For some people, marriage is very much like just like a legal document, right? It's not like
Right,
for us,
and
it's
that's fair. That's fair.
yeah. That's just how it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
that's fair. If that's how they see it, that's how they see it. I'd be like, okay, well, that's good to know, but I know my homie right here is not. That's not what he sees,
right.
or that's not how he thinks marriage is. It's just a paper that you sign, and then now you're together for the rest of your life. Like it's more than that, right? It's a commitment. I mean, we say it in our vows, um, and so like, yeah, that for you guys, it's an easy answer to give out. From me to them,
Yeah.
from me to them to you.
Okay, then let's move beyond just the three of us. Like,
Mm.
another friend, not the three of us, is like they're dating someone that there's red flags. When would you ever intervene, and when would you intervene? And let's start with
In my
family
case.
first. Family, your sibling is dating someone, a little bit of a red flag. Is same level intervene, as right when you see the red flags, wait a couple of months, or are you like, they'll do it themselves, whatever?
I'd wait a couple months to see the progression.
Okay, so
But
same level as us.
being family, I would have to let them know because they're going to become a Johnson. There is no there is no ifs, ands, or buts about becoming a Johnson.
Okay. What about you, Alex?
So I would ask them all those questions.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I think I would probably ask
Same
a lot
level.
of questions and just really make sure that it makes sense.
Okay. Let's move beyond family. Let's say these are.
Hey, what about you?
Oh, yeah. I think. I mean,
Yeah, what about you,
You already
Anthony?
know. If I talked to my brother, like I'd give it like six
Okay.
months or so, and then if
So 6 to 8 months.
if it's still
Okay.
like, oh, you're not seeing what I'm seeing, and I need to get these answers now. I'm gonna intervene then, and see maybe I have the misconception. Maybe I'm in the wrong in how I perceive this person to be.
Ooh,
Okay.
what if it's kind of the reverse in the sense that it's like you're looking at your brother and you're like, hey, dude, you've been with this girl for a while. What's stopping you from locking this shit down? Why aren't you trying to propose yet? Like, what is stopping you? Like, what's holding you back?
I think, uh, hmm. For my brother, it's interesting because he and I don't share our dating history, so I don't know what for him what is a long relationship. What does it look like? So I don't know if it's like,
Hey, that's a
if
good
it's like
question.
6 months in, like is that considered long for him? Is that where he starts to consider
Yeah.
the future with that person? And then I'll jump in and say, hey, what's up, man? It's been a year now. Usually you get an idea when it's like 6 months in. What gives?
I'd probably say like if like the 6 to 8 months, right? And then I'll ask them like, hey, are you serious? Or and I'll ask them if they're serious. And then the cap would be like 2 years. I'd be like,
2
okay,
years.
well, if you haven't proposed by now, at our age, right? Like where we're at,
Okay.
or even my little brother, I mean, I give him like 3 years where at his age, and I'd be like, all right, are you seriously thinking about being with, like, are you considering her feelings in terms of like she might be ready and she's waiting on you because we're the ones that will propose, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, especially, like for women, they've got that
There's a
internal
timing.
there's like internal clock, right? Like if they wait too long, then raising or having a family may not be it can be scary, or it can lead to more complications. It can it just yeah, the complications is really what I'm trying to emphasize here. Like there's like my wife's side of the family, there have been like they had Chelsea's older brother, for example, a lot later in life, and he came out to be a bit autistic because of it. And there might have been some other things, but I won't go too much into that. But for the most part, they believe a big factor was because they were in their late 30s, So while it's good to
I mean,
wait, maybe don't wait too
Too
late.
long.
But yeah.
so what's the other scenario, Anthony?
No, it's just like these are other friends. These are like they're like close friends, but not say your best friends. So if you think of like your inner circle, think of like this is a little 1 degree past your inner circle.
So my circle of what the extent of what I would say stops at my groomsmen.
Okay.
That's where it stops.
Yeah.
Like after that, I feel like I'm crossing a line that it's not my place to say that to that person. Like
Okay.
to be like, hey, like, I mean, if it's like something really bad, like just outrageously, like, oh yeah, everybody kind of knows, then I'd be like, okay, yes, I'll address it because I'll be that guy. Like whether
Yeah.
you hate me for it, I'll say it. But if it's just like, they're one of my friends, they're just lovey dovey, whatever.
Yeah.
They weren't one of my groomsmen or whatever. They're going through the love phase. I'd be like, okay, well, you know, here's some. I'll still ask them some questions or try to ask them questions to be a good friend. To be like, hey, do you see a future with them? Like, are you just playing around or are you really trying to get married? Like
Yeah.
simple, basic questions,
Sure.
like the basic of the basic. Like it's not posing any like argument.
You're
It's
not
just
trying to like
something to
stop
think
it.
about.
You're not
Right.
intervening.
Right.
You're just like Make
trying to
sure
understand.
understand.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Have you
that's the extent of it. I would say for me is the groomsman.
have y'all ever had a friend where they like they got a girlfriend and then they kind of like devoted themselves so fully that you almost never see them again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I don't
okay. This is
I
not me
don't know the
alluding to
dig
you,
at me.
Anthony.
What the fuck?
I know. I was not even thinking of that, but yes, we did have our brief stint in high school where you did that to me. But no, that's not what I was thinking of. God, that's funny. Oh man.
I mean, yeah, I think I'd be a little sad about it, but like, I mean, if they're happy, who am I to get in the way of their happiness?
Yeah. No,
To
that's
an
fair.
extent.
Yeah. I guess everything is like with a little asterisk next to me. Like, okay, I mean, like, are you totally blowing off like not just me? Because like if you blow me off, like I'll be a little sad, but I'm not gonna cry about it. But if
Yeah.
you keep blowing everyone off, and then like, okay,
Yeah.
maybe
Like, I
maybe
had
a friend like that.
there's a red
I can
flag
think of
now.
one guy who's actually in our high school group that we never see anymore at all. And y'all know who I'm talking about. Like they got married, they had a kid like well before all of us. And
They're
uh
happy.
no, yeah, and I'm super
I'm
happy
not
for
mad
him. I
about
just
that.
no, I'm not mad about it at all. It's just like, one moment like you're good friends with the guy, the next thing you know, like it's like
I feel
you
I
don't
feel like
even
he was like a seasonal, like I don't want to say seasonal friend, but he was like a friend during that season of life
Yeah,
yeah,
for me.
friend.
You know,
for
like or for
sure.
all of us actually. Like he was just the high
Yeah.
school friend
Yeah.
that we enjoyed our time with, and then we just happened to move on because we're and connect back. But he just happened to move on and go live his life.
Yeah.
And
No,
all I
for
can be
sure.
is like, I'm happy for you. He didn't leave like any bad taste in our mouth or something. It's like
No.
no, he we had fun. He was a great guy, and
Mhm.
he just went on to live life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
No, that's good.
that's a I think Devante nailed it. Where like some friends are just like high school friends, and that's fine. That's perfectly okay. And so like, he because like I didn't make an effort to try to connect with him after we graduated
Right.
from high school. And so it makes sense that like he moved on with his life. He met someone. He had a family. He's perfectly happy. Like if our
Yeah.
paths cross again, as there's no bad will. I was like, hey, what's up, man? It's been five ever. What's up? What's going on? You got
Well,
a kid?
don't
That's so
expect it to
cool.
be at a 10-year reunion because you know how good our class is doing of planning that.
It's
That's
never
all right.
it's never
We
too
have
late.
our own reunion.
Shout out
Never
class of 2014.
Never too late to plan a 10-year. What's the difference between 11 years, 10 years, 1 year? This is fine.
We'll just go crash
Yeah.
the class of 2015s.
I wouldn't even know.
But yeah,
Nah,
I think for
no
me,
thanks.
going back to the question, I think if outside of my immediate like groomsmen is a good boundary. But I think if you are someone who comes to me for like advice, and then you come to me, you're always complaining about this one person over and over and over and over again. I'll be okay. You could obviously hold me to a regard, and so now I feel obligated, responsible. I feel beholden to
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
to
It
come
came to
in
you.
Right.
and intervene. But if we're just like casual friends, we talk, but we don't really go into those deep conversations of like how they're doing, and they don't really turn
Yeah.
to me for life advice. And they're dating someone who's like hot trash. I'm not gonna say anything. It's not my place. I don't care.
Yeah, that's not your problem.
Not my problem. Yeah. I'll be here when things if things end up badly, but like you did not ask for my opinion. I'm not gonna give my opinion. It's not my place.
Right.
Fair enough. I feel like a lot of conversations like that happen at work. You know?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely keep my work friends separate from my for my for lack of better words, outside of work friends.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Yeah, coworkers are still friends. They
Yes.
just are a separate group of people.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
They just
It's like with coworkers, like you love them and you wish them all the best, but like that with coworkers, like they could move on to the next job the next day, or like they could just disappear like that. So you don't. It's like
they're
you
just
you don't.
coworkers. They're just people
Yeah.
you see at the job, people you see at
Right.
class, right in
Right,
college.
and you enjoy their company, but like usually don't take it too much further beyond it. Maybe you go out for a drink after work together or something, but
Talk about
let's
work. You let the stress out.
send each
You
other
know.
some memes now and then about work.
oh, but I guess I have a very fun tangent. So I have almost like a weekly game night with some of my coworkers. But I do see them generally as my friends. But whenever I tell Michelle like what I'm planning on doing, I always refer to them as my coworkers. But
Yeah.
but like internally, I see them as my they're friends. Like if I had known
Right.
them longer, I would have invited them to my wedding. But like I literally refer to them as my coworker. Hey, I'm going to my coworker's board
I
game
think that's
night.
fine.
Is that kind of weird?
Like, that's just no. That's just how you reference them for
Yeah.
other people to understand.
Sure.
Like that's
It's how
I
she
don't know,
separates that
I get what
group
you're
of
saying.
friends.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying though. Yes.
Yeah.
Because every
does-
time I tell Walking hey, like Friday night, I'm go get something to eat because I'm gonna go eat with coworkers. That's
Yeah.
it's not friends. It's like
Yeah.
they're still friends, but they're coworkers.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's like if you didn't have the same job together, would y'all hang out still?
Oh, I mean, I would say hang out with these people. Like, if I were to
I
quit my
would.
job, I would hang out with these people. Like, we play board
Yeah.
games together, so. But I still refer
And
to them as
that's
my
good.
coworkers.
And that's how you know that they're friends.
Yeah.
They're like they're coworkers, but
Oh,
they're
we're
friends.
still
But I
referring
still
them
refer
to
to them
as
like I will
coworkers.
like
Yeah.
I'll tell my friends hey, I'm going to my coworkers board game night.
Yeah.
And it's now just really realistically I'm going to my friend's board game night.
Yeah.
So-
No, I get
think that's
that.
just-
Like
I think as
Like-
long as you're working with them, that's how you're just gonna refer to them as until
I
you
think
stop
so.
working with them and actually hang out with them
Yeah.
outside of having them be a coworker.
Coworker.
You're gonna keep on referring to them as coworkers.
I think you're right.
no, absolutely. Like I've got one coworker who I've asked him to like watch my dog before. Like that's how much I like and trust the guy. But I still refer to him as my coworker,
Mhm.
you know?
It's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's just that's just how we are.
This is how it is.
Wait, so I actually have a question for you guys.
Sure.
If you guys saw a mugshot of me, what do you think I went to jail for? Or even Anthony or
Ooh.
Alex? What do you
All right.
think you went to jail for?
Your mugshot is gonna be
What's the description below?
I'm gonna go with I know what the idea would be. I just don't know what exactly would be. It would be something to do with drinking. It would be like
For
it would be
Devante?
like either like he
A
drank
DUI.
with intoxication or DUI or something. But like it wouldn't be like there would be a good story behind it. It wouldn't be like you did it like out of a bad intention. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
I get what you're saying.
yeah. No,
I have something similar for
Bro,
Anthony too.
For Devante, it's I do know I have mine for Devante. It's something to do with being an accomplice. He's never the actual
Accomplice.
person. He's always the accomplice. Like a bedded. Hypothetically, it would be like a bedded armed robbery.
yeah.
He helped with the armed robbery. He did not do
I
any
can see that.
actual.
I can see that.
Or was it
Oh,
like
Stroll
I think the generic term would be like a obstruction of justice or like evading police. I can see that
Oh.
as a Devante crime.
He's the
The
getaway.
guy, yeah,
carjacking.
exactly. It's like, hey, go, just
It's
drive,
crazy.
drive,
Go,
and you're just driving.
I'm just like, all right, I'll go.
No, I think you'd have some panic in your voice. You'd be like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 what's going on?" And he's like, "Go, go,
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 like,
go, go."
okay."
I'm like, all right, let's go.
I think there's like I think for Alex, I can see him getting into like assault. I can see him
What?
punching. I can see him punching someone.
I can see him punching somebody too.
See him
The man
punching
punched the wall in his house, so
Oh my gosh. Okay, that was a long time ago.
I can see assault.
hey, it's still in you, brother.
I feel
Not
like
this house.
I feel like yes, you're slow to anger, but like if you were to get arrested for something, realistically it'd be like for assault for something you punch
Ooh,
someone in
can
the
we
face.
Can we guess what the person did?
Well, it's probably
Hey,
What did the person do to piss me
threaten
off?
your family or something like that.
yeah, it's like that or like they
Like you do it out of protection.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, like it's
Yeah.
anger out of protecting
But-
somebody, not like
my
somebody was
my
just.
first thought was
being on my
somebody was trying to do
nerves.
something to Chelsea.
yeah, exactly. It's just
Yeah.
you punch him. The guy goes, "Oh, you punched my face. You broke my nose. You did whatever." You both get arrested. You both get a mugshot. Or let's see. I don't think you'll get a mugshot for that. But who knows?
If you did, we come bail you out.
I'll bet you out, yeah.
Man, it just that reminds me of that one time when I was in high school and this guy tried to fight me and he comes up to me and like I thought we were buddies at the time, but we weren't buddies anymore. And he comes up to me and he takes my milk carton and he just does
I
this.
remember this. I was there.
But he literally did it and knocked the milk all over himself. So we got milk all over his own pants. It was the worst. It was the
Trying to
worst start to
be a
what
tough
was supposed to
man.
be like
Little
an
fight.
intimidating
Yeah.
fight or whatever. Yeah, like he was like, "You're gonna fight me now, right?" I'm like, "Dude, you just spilled my milk all over your all over your pants." Nope, I'm good. Like I was laughing too hard to even be mad about it, you know? Like, like talk about embarrassing. The only thing that pissed me off was when his buddy took a cheap shot at the back of my head. I was like, you know
Oh
what?
yeah, that
I
was
ain't gonna deal with none of this. I was
Mm.
like, let's just go have a conversation.
Yeah,
dude,
I think.
for me, for Anthony. Oh
Oh,
man,
what am I getting arrested for? Wait.
Anthony would
Is
get
it a white collar crime, or is it gonna be something like
yeah, it's a
pretty?
white collar crime.
Oh
You you
man.
you would see, like, for the government, for the government, he'd be like, all right, he would see some crazy stuff, like he would see something crazy and he'd be like, I hate to share this. And then like he would share it, and then like
Wee
unknowingly
wee.
he would share it, and then he'd be like, hey, Devante, Alex, did you guys see that crazy thing that happened? And then like we're all watching it, and then like out of
Wow.
nowhere the police bust into
Wow.
Anthony's
Wild.
place, and we're like, what happened? And then they're like, Anthony was the one that released these files, and we're like, whoa. And Anthony that would be Anthony's like crime. He just
I
released
was
files to
I
the
was
Edward
public
thinking
that wasn't supposed to
something
be
kind of
released.
similar,
Edward
like insider
Snowden.
trading or something. Like he got some knowledge about something, and just he started making some millions. We're like, "Whoa, Anthony, what are you doing here? Like, you're making some big money." You're like, "Oh yeah, things have been going really good at work."
Dang, got me for white collar crimes.
I could see, but yeah, for Alex, I'd see you like protecting, like beating somebody up by protecting like somebody that you care about. Like that would be your mugshot. Like you
My
beat them up
only
bad.
my only problem is have I ever told y'all that I've never actually been in a real fight? Like I've never actually got into a fist fight with somebody.
I can see that, yeah.
Like not like in a serious way. Like obviously I've done like play fighting, but like never a serious one. The closest was what the story I just shared actually.
I think because you're very slow to anger,
Yeah.
but I know you are protective though. That's why the caveat is no one. If somebody says something to you, you don't care. Somebody says something to your family, then you care.
Right?
Yeah. I feel like
Marine.
right. I feel like I wouldn't be a fair fighter either. I'd probably be a dirty fighter, If you're gonna mess with me, you're gonna get my full force. You're gonna get my
Oh my god.
everything I can think of, man. Like whatever I gotta do is about to happen.
Hence the mugshot. Assault.
Literally, the bell's about to be 10 times
Oh man.
higher because of it.
Man, if y'all ever see me with that mugshot, it was probably a really you don't want to see the other guy.
But yeah, thank you for answering my questions.
You're welcome.
But yeah, that's why we would all go to jail.
Man, I gotta ask y'all something too.
What's up, man?
So, being a new father has come with a lot of a lot of ups, but I gotta ask y'all, how do you guys deal with stress? Because your boy here is stressed out between being a dad, being a husband, trying to be the caretaker, being a son, a brother, just so many being a good friend and trying to like show up to things and stuff, like it's life has got me stressed.
So
Like how do you guys deal with your stress?
it depends what I'm stressed out about. Am I stressed out because I have too many things that need to get done and I don't have enough time to do it? Or if I'm stressed because, oh man, it's been a tough day, but it's finally done. And I need to de-stress. Which one is it? Or both?
How about both?
All right. If I'm stressed because I have so many things I need to do, then I just make a task list. I number them off. I put them in priority of when's the due date, and I just work down that list. And I don't think about anything else other than working down that list.
Very agile.
Very, very agile. I backlog items. I create 2-hour sprints, and then I just go down the list and I cross it off. And this past week I had I had an exam, I had work deadlines, I had a project deadline, and I always have personal commitments as well. And I just made a list like, hey, here's when everything's due. Here's how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to slowly walk down this list. My weakness in that system is that if something gets added onto that list that I didn't account for, that messes up my entire system, right? Like now I have to
Stresses you out more.
exactly. I have to
Yeah.
reprioritize it, figure out where it lands in the list, or in that can be stressed. But if I see everything that needs to get done right in front of me, I'll make that list. I'll just go through it one by one, and it'll get done.
Okay.
But if it's like a end of the day kind of like, oh man, I'm all my stretches are done, everything's finished, I will kind of fall into my hobbies. I'll probably either go play some video games. I'll go to the gym because that's usually I put that on the back burner when I have too many things I need to get done. I'll go back to the gym. I'll cook something. I'll really enjoy my own personal time, and I don't even think about work or school or whatever that's stressing me out.
Okay.
Nice.
What about you, Devante?
For the first part of Anthony's, I'm pretty similar. I have like a task list, so I always carry with me like sticky pad and paper. Like I have so many sticky pads everywhere, and I always like write down like everything that I need to do, and like even a calendar like on my desk of like you know just events. Yeah, and I'll just write it all down, and then like Anthony said, I'll put like a numbering system to it to be like, all right, this has to be done today or tomorrow, and then the rest I can figure out later, or later in the week. But that's probably whenever I have a lot of tasks or overwhelming like sensation of, oh, I need to get this done, that done. How much time do I have type deal. But yeah, that's always been a thing with me is just it's notepad and a pen.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it gets started. And then
Okay.
just a de-stress. For me, I'm a religious guy, so I'll read the Bible. I'll pray. Um, but other than that, at the end of the day, I will sit down and kind of nerd out too. I'll sit down and watch anime. I'll binge
Nice.
anime with a good old fashioned, like walking with a test. Like you'll see me in there sometimes. Just I'm like, this is my throne. I'm sitting on my throne, my couch, and then you just have the TV in front of you, and you just watch a show and de-stress. You don't. You just watch some TikToks or Facebook or a video or whatever, or text people
Yeah.
as you're watching the show. That's one way that I de-stress.
What's your go-to anime that you use for de-stressing? I think I know, but I'm just gonna ask.
Actually, I don't have a go-to anime. I just been saving up. I've been a little bit busy, so I've been saving up like shows, like new episodes. So I'll just go straight to the new episode and sit there and
Whatever's on.
binge all the new episodes till the recent one, and then I'll just whenever I feel stressed again, I'll go do that again. So usually it's like every 2 to 3 weeks, I'll sit down and have an old-fashioned watch anime. But in between then and there, another big one is I also clean. Alex, you clean too. Or you're saying you're cleaning, but I whenever like Walking knows that I'm stressed is that she sees the house is clean.
Right.
Like even though it's clean already, like I will find something to clean, like to get my mind off of whatever.
Cleaning's a great de-stressor.
Yeah, so I'll just start cleaning. Like I'll find things to clean. Like I'll start arranging like the inside the cabinets. Like I'll get really detailed. Like even my clothes. Like I'll go into the closet and be like, all right, what can I do here? Like I'll start arranging everything. Like kind of OCD, but that's to me like how I de-stress.
There's this one
Times like
spot in
that.
the ground that looks like I could use a toothbrush to get the stain out.
Yeah, no,
that I
I'm
didn't
serious.
see
Like
before.
I really do start to just clean around the house.
Yeah.
And it just gets my mind off of things. And by the end of it, I do feel better, and then and then I go back to my sticky notes, and then I'm like, okay, here's all my tasks.
Right.
But yeah, it's just a quick way of releasing it in through like this is what I can control right now, right? Like that's the sense that I get from cleaning is I can control where this goes, and then now that everything that I feel in my life that needs to be controlled and cleaned and like it's in order, let me go figure out the external things that need to be in order. And during that process of cleaning, I can think about it too, right? Like, I can figure this out for that task or that task, right?
So that's
how I de-stress.
That's like the opposite. Whenever I'm like stressed, like in the middle of a stressful period, I can't go clean to de-stress.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
For me, it's like, the time I could take cleaning, I could be putting back into what's stressing me out. And so
yes.
I told
some people think of like that way too.
So I told Michelle
to avoid my stress.
I told Michelle
to avoid my stress,
that I
get my mind off things.
I accumulate what I call a life debt. So like for me, life debt would be like the house is a little bit messier than normal. That's life debt because I put it to the back burner. I focus on what I'm currently focusing on. I've accumulated this debt, and now that I'm done stressing out, I can go pay off that life debt. I can go clean the house. I can go meal prep appropriately and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It also comes from an agile world of tech debt. I accumulate tech debt and then I pay it off when I'm ready.
It does feel like that though, to be honest with you sometimes. But I'm like, this is the price I pay, right?
Yeah.
Like, but I know I have to clean sometimes, so that's why, like you said, it's a house debt, I guess, for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I definitely get a dopamine hit from having like cleaning, like when you see like
Clean
your
sheets.
house, just like you like when you knew what it looked like before and then you get it all tidied up and cleaned afterwards, it's just you feel good. You feel like you just want to sit down on the couch after that and just relax and just kind of bask in your hard-earned work.
Yeah, that's fair. And that's
Yeah.
why just gotta relax sometimes.
Mm,
Yep.
Needed.
Otherwise, the other one I can relate to Anthony. Gaming's
it's gaming.
a great relaxer. That one always
Ooh.
gets me good.
But I guess both to you because we fall into our hobbies whenever we're want to de-stress. What kind of games do you tend to like play whenever you're de-stressing? And then at Devante,
Yeah.
do you play games to de-stress, or like what types of shows other than like the newest ones? But like let's say you're done. When you go to choose what shows to watch, is when you prioritize first, or do you just watch whatever's on your alphabetical order list?
So I would say, it took me some time to realize like what games uh would help me de-stress. Like in the beginning, it was kind of more like I play games just to have fun. And that was great, but now I look more for games with substance. So
Mhm.
like a lot of RPGs, a lot of storytelling, but storytelling with great gameplay. So
Yeah.
like
Like something that
um
takes you away from like the real world life world that's stressing you out, and for you can kind of
yeah, yeah,
escape towards.
but like also fun at the same time, because
Right.
I don't want to just play a game that's just story. I want to play something that's gonna be keeping me on my toes, giving me puzzles to try and solve, or giving me like fun, inventive ways to defeat bosses. Although I will admit, there is a stopping point. There's a ceiling for me, and that's gonna be Dark Souls games. Hate them. Hate them. I don't want to die a million times to
Opposite
figure out how
effect.
to beat the boss. Like that's too far gone.
I used
Like
to do that to de-stress.
Oh my
I
gosh.
Something about
That's more stressful.
failing in game and
it,
failing in real
yeah,
life
that stresses me out.
made me feel fine.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Stressful.
Yeah, no, that's too much. That's when that gives me the opposite effect. I want to figure out how to beat the boss, but I don't want to freaking get killed because of some stupid like cheese or whatever, or
Never
just because I
cheese.
have
More
like
frustrating.
Yeah, if you
yeah,
know,
like
it's gamer skill. It's all
because I
skill.
missed one
Oh,
dodge
no.
roll. Like, are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Gotta be gamer perfect.
Gosh.
All right, Devante,
But,
what shows do you prioritize when you're trying to de-stress?
Aside from the new episodes, I probably would just go into Naruto Shippuden. I'm actually rewatching it, and
Nice.
so I've been rewatching it since the end of last year. Uh, but I haven't been able to jump back into it lately. And so after I watch the new episodes and I still have more time, I'll just like have it on in the background and like, I'll go on
yeah,
my
last
phone and
time I
like
saw
do
you,
other
you
stuff.
were watching the tuning exams.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now I'm on Shippuden.
Nice. Wow.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
okay.
you made some good progress.
Yeah, I finished like the first 200 some odd episodes of Naruto, and then now I made it into like I think I made it into episode 60 of Shippuden. So I still have like 600 some odd episodes to go.
That's wild. You've been making great progress. I actually
I
started
want.
started a new anime myself. Um, have you all heard about solo leveling?
Of course.
I love that
Of
one.
course we have.
Dude,
Who hasn't? Where have you been if you haven't?
I hadn't heard. I just found out about it during season 2, and I started watching it
You have so much to watch.
a
Yeah.
week before last.
Are
So
you
like
season 2 now? Are you
I'm caught up on season 2. Oh
Okay.
my gosh, that show
Good.
is so great. It is so great. I mean,
You know
the,
that manga came out when we were in college, like beginning of college.
Yeah.
really.
I remember Devante
Yeah,
was
My
yeah.
like,
brother told me he actually read it all already. That it's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
done.
It's already out. Yeah,
there's
it's
a
already
sequel
done.
series out now.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, sequel series. He's telling me about that.
I I remember when it
Really
came
good.
out, and Devante was like, "This could be the next big anime," and he was
Yep,
right.
I called it. I called it, dude. Like
Yeah, you did.
the beginning was slow for the manhwa, but after it picked up, boy, I was like, this
It
is it.
escalates,
This
yeah.
is gonna be the next big thing. And then look what
Yeah.
it was.
It is the big
Literally
thing.
the
Yeah,
next big
dude.
thing.
I mean, hell, he got stronger than everybody in the show before the end of season 2. Before the end,
He is
like
the strongest in the show.
I mean, and
Well,
he's only gonna
there's
get
one
stronger.
stronger than him, but that's like in the manhwa, it's God. But I mean, he's
It's
like
God.
the strongest human. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
I think for me, I think Solo Leveling is a good one. It's starting to hit into that One Punch Man type of story where like they talk up all the side characters just to prove how strong the main character is.
right.
So it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I mean, I think for me, I think the actions kind of sells it, and I think the character design is really cool, and I like the aesthetic, and like it's hitting all the notes as like as the why I like anime as a kid. Watching Dragon Ball Z,
Right.
watching like One Piece, watching Naruto.
Yes.
That's all the actioniness of it. I'm
Yeah,
a
Like,
little
you don't want the episode to end.
yeah.
Oh my gosh! And when they do end, they're always on some crazy cliffhanger.
I do have a little beef with his harem building, but it's just my own personal beef with harem building animes.
Hey, welcome to anime. That's every anime.
But for me, like the games I play game. So I've kind of like two phases. If it's like in the middle of if I need to de-stress in the middle, I play games that are low lift games in terms I don't have to think too hard. It's very
Like what?
mono. For a while, like when I was in
Minecraft?
high school, it was a lot of like Call of Duty. I don't know what they Call of
Oh,
Duty.
okay, okay.
This is just put your gun and shoot. It's all muscle memory. Lately I've been doing less of that because like I rather than playing games, I can devote my time to other other things that are low lifts. But after I
Yeah.
finished my mini Hell Week for school, I played Monster Hunter. That's like the
Monster Hunter's
game.
fun,
The
man.
new one.
Yeah, it's really liking it,
Oh.
hitting all the
I've
right
been hearing
notes.
lots of great things.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan. I've been playing Monster Hunter for a while since the 3DS era, which is not the newest, like the oldest one, but I've been playing for a while.
Yeah.
I know I borrowed my
That's really
roommate's
cool.
Wii U to play the one on the Wii U. So
Okay.
but yeah,
Is
that's
Monster Hunter? Is it limited to like one or two consoles, or is it multi-platform?
multi-platform, crossplay, and everything.
It's on computer too.
PC, yeah.
Oh,
my
okay.
my friend group is 2 consoles. The rest are PC people.
Sounds about
okay.
right.
But the
Are
other
you PC or console?
I'm playing console.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you go console.
I want to be on my couch playing it, and it just feels a
Okay,
little better.
okay, yeah. The living room, yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Right.
Plus,
the office.
Yeah, and then if I'm not in a Monster Hunter kind of phase, I do a lot of strategy games because it engages my mind elsewhere, so that I physically can't think about what's stressing me out because I'm physically thinking about something else, and I'm actively
Right.
thinking about something else.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's just how
Mine is just TFT.
TFT. I haven't
Yeah.
played TFT in such a long time. I was waiting for the new set to come out.
I just get on to play once,
Yeah.
like once a day to get
It's easy.
the mission or see how it's going.
Right.
But
that
other than that, I don't play too much. Maybe like 1 or 2 games.
that was my
Have y'all
old
been
de-stressor.
playing League at all lately?
No.
Nah.
No, none of
I've
us.
been doing
have playing that.
I've been doing a bunch of other stuff at night, dude. Like I've been trying to research into like certain things. Like I've been learning physics. Isn't that crazy? I'm learning physics, dude.
Like
What
normal
are you trying
physics
to
or
learn
like
physics for?
electricity and magnetism.
Yes, well, I guess
Electricity.
it'd be like electrons, neutrons,
Sure. Sure.
like kinetic energy, potential, yeah, all that stuff. But
Tell me
just
more
trying to
about
figure out,
ohms.
and then like like stocks, right? Like I've been looking into. I mean,
Stocks.
I'll text Alex about stocks and be like, I mean, texted him today about a certain stocks, and so
Oh,
That's true.
you don't want to text me
but,
about
like,
stocks? Oh no.
well, you have any? Okay, we'll talk after. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of research. I have so many sticky notes on like research things that I'm like, okay, maybe this is where potentially something might happen, or like and then sometimes work bleeds into it because I'm like, the things that I'm interested at work, like I'm interested on my own time too, and so I'll like do research on certain topics and try to figure out like, oh, what can we possibly do or potentially do to better this product or whatnot. Um, yeah, and that goes into the physics of things too. Since you guys know where I work, but yeah, just trying to figure all that out. Like that's where my mind's been lately, and then like Bible stuff. I've been doing a lot of Bible like studying and whatnot, and so that's where my mind's been at lately in terms of like not really games. It's kind of shifted to research and religion, I guess. Yeah, the 2 hours.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I caught myself. I'm finishing my grad school this year, and I was like, oh, what am I doing with my the summer and the fall with all my spare time after I finish grad school? And I
Yeah,
caught
you can have a
myself
lot.
literally saying, maybe I should get into contracting work.
Oh, like real estate?
No, like actual coding
Like be
for
a
like a
contractor.
contractor for
Oh,
coding.
like you want to
Yeah.
be a contracting
And
for
coding
okay.
on my own my spare time. I was like, dang, yeah, I guess that's the I'm used to that
Good.
level like high intensity of like designated times to focus in. But I also have a lot of side projects I need to like work my way through. So
Yeah, and I feel like it'd be less stressful on you. I mean, it could add some stress, but at the same time, you have a career, a job that you're already leaning on. That having the contractor job, if they try and get on you a little bit, it's like, okay, well, what do I want to do? I'll
Yeah.
just leave if it gets too if y'all are just gonna treat me this way. Like,
I just want to do like Fiverr for coding. Just hey, you need coding project, sure. Let me take a look at
Yeah,
it.
it's a good side gig,
Yeah.
especially if I'm sure you're like proficient in your work, and so it's not too hard for you. I would assume.
It's just like time management. I think it's some of it stems from like as I continue working in my current job, like I'm being pushed to do more of like non-coding tasks and doing more of like planning and like whatever like managerial and
Stuff that you don't want to do.
yeah, the bureaucratic side of like
Yeah.
of like projects, and which is fine. I don't mind letting my expertise. I don't mind providing my input. Sometimes I do get a rush of like, oh yeah, I am now like a subject matter expert on something, and people like actually look to my opinion for ground truth. But sometimes I just miss like getting there, coding a project, blocking in for
Yeah,
like
just
8 hours
leaving.
a day, and just like yeah, I'm just gonna code this solution, and move on with my life. So I think
Right.
that's where it stems from. It's like I miss like coding projects. I miss like sitting down and be like, cool, let me design a solution and create it and move on. Now I work. I'm just doing like here's a problem. I get to delegate. I have to like talk about it. I have to do all this non-coding stuff. I have to do like configuration and system and system like maintenance. That's not fun for me. That's all I did my
Right.
degree for.
Yeah. You want to go to the fun side of work, not the
Yeah,
management side of work.
exactly.
Yeah. I've been there. That's where I'm at right now. I'm like the fun side of work is a little dissipating, and the management side is becoming a little more. And
And
I'm like, no,
the
I need to flip that.
bureaucrats,
Yeah, we need to flip that and give me the fun work again. That's why I'm here to work,
I
but
think
have fun at the same time.
I had that
Right.
feeling when I had like a full day of just meetings. I was like, oh man, this is my life. This is the path that I am
Yeah.
on.
You have so many meetings, can't even do your own work.
I just got sad a little bit. I'm like, you know what? I need to take some agency back into my life and find some avenues where I can actually do some coding that I actually enjoy doing.
Right. But that's how we manage stress, Alex.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of gives it to a perfect end of our episode. This can be a short one. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll make our audience, I guess like wait for the next episode.
Sounds
Who
good.
knows?
with me.
Maybe we're gonna go de-stress after this episode after recording this.
I'm
Hey,
gonna go grab a bite.
You could even say that that our podcast can be a de-stress for people.
That is true. I'll say,
Cheers.
hanging out with you guys is a good way to is one of the ways I de-stress. Like our weekly conversations, just our one-off like texting chain. Like it's a good way for me to like check in on my friends, see how they're doing. Maybe just
But check in with you, Anthony.
Huh?
You better give me them stocks, boy.
Give me some stoinks. Okay, I guess depends what you're asking, Alex. He is a finance person. I'm not. I know the stocks that I know. I know the things that I know. Outside of the things I know,
I
don't.
just say facts. I don't give opinions.
That's all I need. That's all I need is facts. That's why I come to ask you. I just
I
need
have-
facts. And give me those facts, and I'll make my decision.
I have facts and takes, and sometimes my takes pays off. Sometimes they don't.
All right. I just
Sometimes
want your
my
facts.
hunches pay off.
I'll ask for those facts.
Sure.
All I'm saying is, if I see y'all at the top and you didn't tell me about something, we're gonna have a conversation later.
Oh, you know, I mean, you guys know I tell you. So much so.
Oh man.
All right. And with that, we'll say thank you for so much for joining us on this wonderful, wonderful day. If you like what you hear, please give us a like, comment, and subscribe onto, or a 5-star rating onto Spotify. Give us that subscribe, give us that like onto YouTube. You know, what are some of your stress relievers? You know, maybe I'm looking for a new hobby.
Down in the comments. What was that?
Trust me, we could use them.
Yeah. I love interesting hobbies. You know, I pick up Warhammer from one of my friends as a hobby, and I'm full into that. So leave down your favorite stress relievers, and we'll see what we take. If you like what you heard song wise, that is our main man, Leviction. You can find him on Spotify. You can find him on SoundCloud. You can find him on YouTube. He is a phenomenal artist, and we love hearing his stuff. I don't have any other bookkeeping. Do you guys have any bookkeeping?
Make sure to de-stress everybody.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Nothing else to it.
And until then, we will talk to y'all later. Peace out. Don't freak out.
Bye, everybody. Have a good week.